I'm very happy because we have, before we get started, I would like to introduce the provost of the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Professor Alan Chen, it's here to say a few words and officiate the symposium. So good morning, Provost.
Thank you, Francesco. Thank you. Distinguished participants, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm really happy to welcome all of you to this international symposium on making place in the Greater Bay Area. I'm particularly excited about this conference because of your focus on the Greater Bay Area as well as on making place. The Greater Bay Area, our neighbor, as you know, is developing really in an unprecedented way. We have a campus in Shenzhen, in the Longgang district, and I think you will know far better than I do that in that whole district, new developments are coming up almost on a daily basis, including a major development called Shenzhen Terraces. I cannot remember who is the architect, but the images I have seen are absolutely stunning. The Chinese University of Hong Kong will continue to strengthen its presence in the Greater Bay Area, collaborating closely, not only with CUHK Shenzhen, but with other major institutions in the area. We do hope to send many of our students to the Greater Bay Area for internship, professional attachment. And we also hope to be able to collaborate with scholars and scientists in mainland China to galvanize the development of Hong Kong and the Greater Bay Area. Making place is also very important to us. And I particularly appreciate, Francesco, you reverse the order of the usual placemaking to making place, I suppose, in order to emphasize the dynamic nature of placemaking. Hong Kong is such a densely populated urban center. Urbanization will continue. And also with the demographic shifts, we need to pay a lot of attention to making place. To this audience, I would be preaching to the choir if I say that making place is not just a matter of building stunning buildings. We hope CUHK can play a role in bringing together interested scholars, government officials, as well as the private sector in thinking about the future of the city. It is very clear to us that the future of research lies in, first, close collaboration between academia, industry, and government. Second, future research lies in international global collaboration. And third, the future of research is really predicated on interdisciplinarity. So I'm really excited about this conference. I want to thank Francesco and the organizers for putting this together. We were hoping that we could bring you to Hong Kong, but I'm afraid that we'll have to wait a bit longer. But I do hope that this will be the beginning of many, many fruitful conversations in the future. And with that, thank you for joining us in this symposium, and I wish everyone a very fruitful meeting for the next 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Provost.
Thank you.
Thank you for the nice word. I know that you are very busy with the schedule, but feel free to join every session you want. I mean, you have the link and you have full access to any of our discussions. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think I will say a few words about the objective of the symposium, and then we will start with the session. No? I think I will have a sort of brief introduction about what this idea of making place born, basically. Considering in the 50s and 60s, the Situationist international movement, no, that had origin in this avant-garde tradition in Paris. So they criticized the effect of this functionalist planning, formulating a new idea of, let's say, approach to the social space of the city. So they proposed the idea of a flexible urban space that is in harmony with the desire of local inhabitants. A sort of urban system which is in continuous transformation, in which the time play a key role. And this concept of unitary urbanism was considering the urban environment to be a playing field of participation, where the inhabitants play an essential part. So in a similar way, nowadays, we are observing how new forms of urban actions and experimental strategy are flourishing with aim of complementing and integrating the lack of specificity that we have in the more formal top-down approaches by offering a more dynamic, flexible, and adaptive urbanism. So as the provost said in this interesting spin of the term placemaking, so the objective of this symposium is to discuss the idea of making place by studying how the transformation of the urban environment through collective and incremental small-scale action could make significant effect on the quality of the urban space. So making as an experimental process could become a dynamic and flexible bottom-up for urban planning and design by providing the government department useful recommendation that will have a positive influence on the social life of public space. Just to link this idea to the Great Bay Area, so the strategy for developing this huge metropolitan region in a world-class, let's say, cluster will provide new planning opportunity. So I think there's a need to inform this top-down plan with knowledge generated by the bottom-up approaches in order to enhance the quality of life within this high-density urban environment. So I think this is more or less what I have in mind for this symposium and the objective. So, and for this, I created 6 specific sessions which discuss more in detail subtopics of these general arguments. So I think just a quick notes about how each session works. So we have 1 hour of lectures, so it's like 4, so 15 minutes each. And then after that, we have 45 minutes of a discussion where we join other 2 panelists. So in total, in that discussion, we have 7 speakers plus the moderator. But before we get started, I would like to thank Placemaking Geeks, was this co-organizer of the symposium, and Heather Kent, Jiaping, Jason, Hendrik also for support and advice that helped me to bring this up. Also, I would like to thank Melody and Fanning, who really helped me to make this event come together. Thank you so much. So I don't want to take so much time now for the introduction. I think it's time to introduce the first moderator, Professor Seta Love, who was gently a new friends and colleagues, thanks to Angie. So good morning, Seta. So I will just say a few words about you. So Professor Seta is teaching at City University of New York. She received the PhD in Culture Anthropology for University of California. She's also director of Public Space Research Group in New York. So she has been awarded a Getty Fellowship, an NEH Fellowship, Fulbright Senior Fellowship, and a Guggenheim for ethnographics research on public space in Latin America and United States. She was president of the American Anthropological Association for 2007 to 2009, and she is widely published with more than 100 articles and chapters. So welcome to Zeta. Good morning. Oh, Zeta, you are mute.
So good